Today on Suncoast View, it is a big, big day here on Suncoast View. We are celebrating our own Linda Carson turning 80 years young.
It wouldn't be a party without a little something to sip. And Michael's Wine Cellar always knows what to serve. They're here with a tasting of summer rosés, my very favorite.
And there is nothing Linda loves more than live theater on the Suncoast. We'll preview the Summer Cabaret Festival with Venice Theater. All that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show, and it is not just any show today. This is a very special show. It is Linda's birthday. Happy birthday, Linda.
Thank you. I am celebrating. I turned 80. Not everybody gets that joy, so I'm going to appreciate it.
Well, we are celebrating with you, and we have been celebrating with you for a good amount of time, which we're very happy to do. Stephanie, unfortunately, is off today. She's missing the fun, but a big welcome to Linda's daughter, Kathy Carson Freeman, also Suncoast attorney. I feel like we should throw that in there as well.
She also has a job.
Yes.
She's my next door neighbor.
That's true. I have so many titles right now.
We'll have to keep adding them on the line, but we're very glad that you're here. What a wonderful day. And Linda, you know, it's kind of been our show tradition to prepare a little something for you just to celebrate. So you've been kind of skating around, enjoying all week, so we wanted you to take a look at our version of you celebrating your birthday.
I'm afraid to look. That's definitely something I'd wear.
Yes, absolutely. We may have actually seen you in that on this show. So that is, of course, from Jib Jab, just a little fun for Linda's birthday.
Okay, why is my hair white? Why is my hair white?
I'm saying that it's blonde. It's platinum.
That will never happen.
Okay. Yes, good for you.
They get darker and darker.
Well, we want you to stay exactly as you are. We are so happy to celebrate. There's so much fun to happen today, but there has been a lot of fun happening. Kathy, you have celebrated with your mom over the weekend. Big surprise party.
Big surprise party. A surprise party that actually worked. How often does that happen? I did not think that there was any possibility, but we've just figured out how. It was because she wasn't in on it. If she would have spilled the beans.
I'm usually the one that tells there's going to be a surprise party
Right?
accidentally. But
these are pictures of her
idea.
being surprised, and she was very, very surprised.
Yes, genuinely surprised, Linda. I mean, there was no acting here.
Oh,
She's not
there
that good
wasn't.
at it.
No, there wasn't. Because when I opened, it's funny, because it made you start thinking about, what will death be like? Well, you'll open this door, and you will be in this lovely place, and it'll be all the people you've ever loved. So I'm thinking, I'm turning 80. I open that door, and it's full of all the people in my life that I have loved so much, from my sister, from my friends when I was back in high school, and then college, and then working. All over the country, everybody had come from California and Arizona and Georgia and
Your
everybody.
yayas, your longtime
My
friends, that we
yayas
celebrated your trips with them here on the show, in fact.
Yes, they'd come from California and Arizona, and it was just an awesome, you know, it was just like being washed up in something different. I still had to say, is this real or am I dreaming it? Because I did not have a clue.
Wow.
Pretty amazing.
Yes, Kathy, hats off to Kathy.
Let's get back to that.
Yes. A lot of planning went into this, and actually, it almost went wrong a few times. So
Yes.
we are going to let you in on some of the things that you missed. We wanted to wait till Kathy was here so we could dish the behind-the-scenes planning. We'll talk about that a little later on in the show, but we want to welcome in the kitchen. We have a great new face we're happy to see, Chef Craig from Evoke at the Westin. Welcome, Chef.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank
We're
you
so
for
happy
having
to
me.
have you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. You don't get to do birthdays for many 80-year-olds, do you?
No.
We're few and far between, but we're getting more and more.
Around here.
So what are we making today, Chef?
Today I'm going to make blackened grouper with rock shrimp and grits.
Oh, that sounds good. I'm from Georgia, so those grits sound good.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. They're very traditional grits, too, so you won't be disappointed, I hope.
Very good.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I hear great things are coming out of the restaurant at the Westin at Evoke, so we can't wait to join you a little later on. Some of us may be a little more familiar with the rooftop of the Westin, as it's been one of the most beautiful views that we have here on the Suncoast. These are a couple shots from when we were there recently, and just there's not a better view on the Suncoast, I think. It's
so
gorgeous.
I've got great things to look forward to because I've never been to the top of
Isn't
the Westin.
that crazy? She's never been.
Yes, well, that's something that we have to do in this next year.
Yes, yes. So there's still a future for me out
Oh
there.
yes, and in fact, we're going to chat about that a little later on too. Lots of things coming for Linda. Now, I know we talked about how much you love the arts, and we have celebrated many of our arts organizations here on the show. And West Coast Black Theater Troupe was on recently, gave us a wonderful performance. There's another performance we wanted to let you know about. Their Broadway in Black Junior. This is coming up July 15th and 16th. This is a show presented by the kids that are at West Coast Black Theater's 5-week summer program. So Broadway in Black Junior, created by artistic director Nate Jacobs. So you want to don't miss that opportunity.
It's bound to be great.
Yes,
everything he does is just unbelievable.
Yes, all right, another thing to put on your calendar, and Kathy, I'm glad you're here for this because I think you and I might be the same era of fans here. Remember the boy bands of the 90s? Well, the Backstreet Boys are back. They are taking over Central Park this Friday at 7 a.m. and you can expect them to play all of your favorites, which I have been singing to our entire production crew this whole week in anticipation. Yes, I was a big old Backstreet Boys
These
fan.
guys are getting older, though.
Yes,
They're not really boys anymore.
the boy band is now the man band, is what I've coined
The
it.
middle-aged man band doesn't really have the same ring to it.
Were you a
like
fan?
that.
I'm more of an NSYNC girl, gonna be honest, but you know, I appreciate.
It's like a Coke and a Pepsi thing, I think.
Exactly.
Linda, were you a fan of the boy bands of the 90s?
I was.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
Was. Yes.
Really, who was your favorite?
Oh, Kathy's not letting you off on
You know what
anything.
happens when you get to be my age? You forget things.
She's going to say the cute one.
Boy bands.
All right, well, that is coming up, and so you'll be waking up to see the Backstreet Boys on Good Morning America, and then you can continue watching us at 9 a.m. on Friday. All right, it is time for our first hot topic. And Florida and the Suncoast are at the epicenter of the opioid crisis. A new state law is limiting access to opioids, and it's now in effect. The legislation limits people suffering from pain to a 3-day supply of prescription drugs like OxyContin and fentanyl. A 7-day supply will be prescribed if a doctor deems it medically necessary. Chronic conditions like cancer will be exempt from this new law. What do you think? Does this put too much burden on the doctors? I mean, some say that seniors who need pain management are going to be the ones that are left hurting.
That's what doctors are for. The whole burden should be on the doctors. They should be the only ones to decide. When I had a hip replacement, I had to have pain medication, and I really wanted somebody there checking my every move at the first when I had to be on strong medication. So nobody wants to get addicted. So I think we need somebody to take over.
And I also think, you know, with a lot of these pills, the way that young people start using them is they go in medicine cabinets and find leftover prescription pills. So this kind of cuts down, there won't be those leftovers anymore.
That's true. I mean, a 3-day supply, you know, it does limit that. Is that too little, though? I mean, to have to consider having to go to the pharmacy every 3 days.
Well, the law has a lot of exemptions for people who are in chronic pain, and what we're talking about this 3-day thing is somebody who maybe like breaks their wrist or you know, something that is very acute and not your someone dealing with a terminal illness or even, you know, a long-term, maybe a back condition that puts them in chronic pain. This isn't something that would apply to that person.
Okay, because I'm thinking about that person that has to hop on a bus, let's say, and would have to go every 3 days, but it's nice to know that hopefully it won't apply to everyone.
I think even if they have to hop on a bus, because the other side is being addicted. I've had friends that ended up committing suicide because they got addicted. So I would say hop on that bus if you have to, but limit that supply down to the point where you do not face addiction so that you can get through the pain but still have a life ahead of you.
And we know that there are people that need this medication,
Exactly.
and so I guess this is better than trying to cut them off completely.
And there's some people who are going to be addicted to it, and that's okay because they're going to take it the rest of their lives, and those are the people that would be exempt.
That's a great point. That's an excellent point. And I think we sometimes forget to mention that group when we're talking about the opioid crisis.
Yeah.
So we knew that something needed to be done, so hopefully this will be part of the help. Well, I have heard plenty about how hard it is for new parents to leave a baby with a babysitter when they go out. But what about when that babysitter is the grandparent? Do you leave the same type of detailed instructions about child care with a grandparent? On one hand, things have changed. Babies sleep on their back now, for instance. On the other hand, these are people that have already successfully raised a child. Kathy, how much do you micromanage Linda when she cares for the kids?
Not at all. I really don't. I have a lot of rules about what you can eat and what you can't eat, but when they're at grandmommy's house, I'm like, whatever. Keep them alive. When they were younger, it was different. When they were babies, that was a different story. But now,
I made
Keep 'em
one of
alive.
the biggest mistakes of my life this week. I was telling my sister, Who hasn't had an ice cream sandwich? Well, I bought 4 ice cream sandwiches. They're 4 kids. They happened to be this big, and everybody was looking at them and saying, "Oh my goodness, you're killing the children."
Like adult size, oversized.
Yeah, so I ended up getting up in the night and putting them down the sink because I felt so guilty.
But I wasn't one of those people. I wasn't even there. I dropped.
You didn't know this.
But that's nice that you have that ability with Linda, where you're like, you know what, I trust you and you're
Well,
fine.
I was planning her surprise party.
That's true. That's true. We were a little busy.
Yeah.
Would you be offended, Linda, if you got detailed instructions from one of your children?
It depends on what it was about. Like when I go to Atlanta and babysit my grandchildren up there, they have strict rules about vegetables and things like that. So they leave it like broccoli, no broccoli, or eat broccoli. It's your cookie. Broccoli stands for anything sweet. So they eat. So when they come home, yes, they have their broccoli.
My kids are not buying that.
Yes. It's when they get to the age where they tell what
Yes.
they ate at Grandma's house. That's when you know you're in trouble.
Yes, that was the problem. So I try to.
Oh, yes. Well, it's interesting. I know my cousins have very, very strict rules about no processed foods, no sugar, no refined sugars. But when they stay at my aunt's house, she said he wants the Captain Crunch cereal and he's going to have it at my house. And so they just have had to learn to compromise.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah. All right. Well, it won't take you long here on the Suncoast to look around and know that short shorts are very much in style. But should that style trend include little girls? One mom was shopping for her 9-year-old in Target, which she calls her happy place, and posted a very funny rant about the lack of clothes that actually cover up body parts. She wanted to find more practical clothes for basketball camp, but now they'll have to shop in the boys section from now on. Kathy, have you noticed skimpy kids' clothes? Do you have a problem with this concept?
I mean, I guess if you're sending them to basketball camp, that's one thing. But I mean, in general, I don't have a problem with. I mean, I noticed that the shorts are pretty short, but my daughter's 5, and you know, she's not trying to be sexy or anything.
Right.
One thing I noticed about little girls today, though, is that we used to wear little skirts, and that was it. They wear shorts under their skirts now. So if they wear a skirt, they have shorts
They
under
have
it.
to.
So they are
rules.
more covered than children were back in my day.
Is it because, I don't want to oversimplify, but is it because girls are now encouraged to do more
Yes,
activities, the same
probably,
activities
yeah.
that any
Yes.
boy could do now, so they have to be dressed and
Yeah, they have to be
properly.
dressed to do handstands.
Well, in my day, we just sat there very nicely. That's all.
No handstands, not with your dress on.
I mean, it was 80 years ago.
I know, now we have the numbers. All right, well, if there's one thing that the younger generation knows how to do, it's social media. And thanks to social media, they know how to strike a pose. And the latest pose is thanks to a childhood favorite. It's called Barbie feet. Remember how the doll's feet were unnaturally always pointed on her feet so she could fit into her high heels? Well, women have decided that also makes your legs look longer. So tiptoe and pointy poses are everywhere on social media, especially when posing in bathing suits. Linda, will you try the Barbie feet?
We always did this, always back in the day. And of course, because I don't look like that in a swimsuit, but my feet can look like that.
Well, that's why they invented high heels,
Yeah.
because it looks better when your legs are like that.
That's why also too in like the bathing suit, swimsuit competitions, right? The contestants were always in high heels. They didn't come out in flip flops.
Yes.
A longer leg.
Yes.
And I know Oprah used to have her shoes on the set for her, so she would walk out in other shoes and then she would slip into her. Yes. So see, those are the secrets. Linda, we're going to start putting your shoes out here for you. You've earned Oprah status in my eyes.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right. Well, we are going to check in with our happy hour forecast, and when we come back, the latest exhibit at Selby Gardens.
So we look at quiet conditions currently on the Suncoast, but plenty of moisture across the peninsula will help fire off showers and thunderstorms again this afternoon in inland areas as the sea breeze forms. The showers and thunderstorms that have been ongoing all morning long in Atlantic and Gulf waters, an indication of all that moisture that's around. Plus, we had a little trough of low pressure that's kind of exited our area, moving out into the Gulf a little bit later on today. And so we won't have that around to help be a kicker in our atmosphere and bring showers like we had yesterday. But still, with the moisture, with the daytime heating, with quiet conditions, I think we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms build in inland areas. Now, the only thing is, the winds are kind of light today, so these storms will be slow movers. They could produce a lot of rainfall if you happen to be under one of them. And plenty of sunshine this afternoon ensures us some warm temperatures. Our daytime high today will top out at around 92 degrees, with a feels-like temperature of 100 to 105.
A beautiful new exhibit called In Dialogue with Nature, Glass in the Gardens is opening at Selby Gardens this week. It is presented in partnership with glass blowers from the Duncan McClellan Gallery and the DMG School Project. And we welcome the owner, Duncan McClellan himself.
Well, thank you very much, Linda, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Tell me about this exhibit that is coming to Selby.
Well, we're really excited. We curated the show from about 90 different artists that we represent at the gallery. And all of them have a botanical theme. And it's a mixture of artists that are in many museums throughout the world, as well as our emerging artists, which is, and a lot of employees that work at DMG School Project.
Ah, so glass and nature really do go together.
Oh, very much so. We're very inspired by it.
We can't wait to see that. Now, you're bringing a mobile furnace with you? Most people don't do that.
No, well, it's a little unusual. We have a mobile furnace that we take to inner city schools and sometimes like events like this so that we can show the public not only how something is made, but how artists use geometry and algebra and chemistry to create their work. It's mostly to get the kids to relate to what they're learning in school now.
Ah, now you brought a beautiful piece with you to show
thank
us.
you.
This was made in your gallery?
Yes.
As is many of the pieces that we're going to see there in the Selby show.
Exactly.
Oh my, this is lovely. Describe that for us.
This piece is called 50th Cousin. It's an overlay, so the color is both in the interior and the exterior. And after, it takes 4 of us to blow this. After it's blown, I set up the imagery, and then it's sand carved. So it's a process that takes about a month to complete a piece like this.
Wow. Tell us about your gallery. It's in St. Pete, right?
Well, it's in the middle of an industrial site, and I chose that because we're the dirty arts. We need a place where we have potteries and we have welding and we have all in this neighborhood. In a mile square area, we have 250 artists in the Warehouse Arts District. And we were one of the founders of the whole district.
Ah, so this is a workshop.
Oh, very much so. It's a working, world-class working studio.
And you have a school project.
That's the real thrust of what we do in our complex. It's all about education. We're an educational charity. And we do a number of things in inner city schools, as I was describing before, but also we do emerging artist residencies, which is very important because when these students come out of school, they may be talented, but they don't have the funds to create a body of work.
Yeah.
And glass is very expensive to produce. Our studio runs almost $1,000 a day to keep operating.
Wow. Well, now, the Selby project. Tell us what all is going to be involved in that. The glass will be on display, much made in your studio, and then what else is going to be going on?
Well, throughout the exhibits, you'll see pieces, works that we have made in our studios, as well as artists from Canada and Japan. And so they'll be on display. We'll have information that will be able to be lent out to the public to read more about glass and to understand more about it. I'm excited because I love Selby Gardens. And I'm a gardener myself. I've kind of fashioned our complex to have 70 tropical fruit trees and lots of orchids in the trees. So it's really exciting for us to be able to show there.
And you're going to be speaking too, I understand.
Yes, there's a couple of lectures planned. There'll be a great tour of the Kotler and Colville collection out at Ringling as part of this event. We'll have the hot shop out there, and there'll be docents that you can ask about the works.
It is going to be so beautiful. How does it feel to you to be doing this, to have your art shown in your favorite place, a garden?
Well, I mean, I'm living a dream now. I mean, to be able to do this for the last 35 years working in glass, it's a real honor because every time you sell a piece of work, it's like a mini grant to do more. And I think all artists feel that way. And to be able to help emerging artists is really our main passion.
We'll help them by going and look at their work
Yes.
and seeing these things we love. Thank you so much. And Dialogue with Nature, Glass in the Gardens, is at Selby Gardens. It starts July 14th and it goes through September 2nd. For more information, go to dmglass.com. Next, a talented Suncoast singer previews the Venice Cabaret Festival.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
The Venice Theater is rolling out its Summer Cabaret Festival this week for the 6th straight year. It gives audiences something new to enjoy, and it gives Suncoast performers a chance to build their acts and showcase their talents. Singer Sarah Cassidy is opening the festival with a show called Journey to the Past, and she's here to give us a preview. Take it away, Sarah.
Heart, don't fail me now. Courage, don't desert me. Don't turn back now that we're here. People always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear or how the world can seem so vast. On a journey to the past. There was once a time I must have had them too. Home, love, family. I will never be complete until I find you. One step at a time, one hope then another. Who knows where this road may go? Back to who I was, on to find my future, things my heart still needs to know. Yes, let this be a sign, let this road be mine, let it lead me to my past and bring me home at last.
Wow, that is awesome, Sarah. Tell us about the rest of your act.
Well, my show is a combination of all the works of Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty. They've been writing musical theater for over 30 years, and some of their biggest hits are Ragtime, Once on This Island, and Seussical the Musical, among others, but those are the most popular.
Why did you choose this theme and these songs?
Well, I've always been drawn to the music of Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, and I think their music is gorgeous, but I've never had the opportunity to perform in one of their shows. So I thought, what a great opportunity to put all of my favorite songs that they've written and put it into one show.
Well, you've been in so many shows. We've seen you in so many roles. How does it feel to do your own show?
Well, it's a little bit scary, you know, because you kind of have to be yourself and not another character.
Yeah.
You know, and it does require a lot of independence and a lot of your own cheerleading and your own scheduling and pacing, but it is freeing, and I look forward. This will be my first time doing something like this, so I look forward to doing it.
We look forward to seeing this. This
Thank
is
you.
going to be so great. Make sure you don't miss it. It is Sarah Cassidy at the Venice Summer Cabaret Festival, July 13th and 14th, and the festival features many different Suncoast artists. It runs through August 26th. It is a great way to spend a summer evening. For tickets and information, go to thevenicestage.com. Next, we'll raise a glass for my birthday.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money. So there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial, because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-874-8185. 1-800-874-8185.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. Weekdays on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. If you are just joining us, this is a very special show. This is Linda's birthday show, and the fun is continuing. Coming up in a little bit, we're going to take you behind the scenes of Linda's secret surprise party that happened over the weekend. It came off without a hitch, but there were a few close calls. We're going to tell you how the surprise was almost spoiled, and we'll tell you by who a little later on. But first, rosé wines are incredibly on trend right now and perfect for our steamy Suncoast summers. But rosé also happens to be Linda's favorite wine. So in her honor, we've asked Sean King, the wine director of Michael's Wine Cellar, to bring us a tasting. And, of course, so we could cheer Linda.
Well, rosé's in now, right? People used to kid me about drinking rosé.
No, people kidded you about White Zinfandel.
Oh,
it's
coming out. They looked a lot like to me.
Linda was a little bit ahead of the trend with liking rosé and blush wine. See, that's why I like when Kathy's here. She doesn't let you get away with anything.
I love rosé, and one of the great things about Florida is that you can drink it all year round here because everywhere else it's seasonal. You go to Chicago, New York, the aisles are packed with rosé, and come wintertime, it's hard to find more than 3.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, and because it drinks cold, it drinks around a pool, and it is the perfect outdoor wine. And the best area to make rosé, I think, is in Provence, because it's the warmest part of France.
Okay.
So everything comes in ripe, and with this being your birthday, I brought 2 Provence wines, and Billicar-Salmon Rosé, which is kind of the high-end champagne for rosé.
I'm excited
yeah,
because I don't usually see a big difference in rosés, and it might just be the limited amount that I'm choosing. So I'm excited to start.
We're going to start with Henri Gaillard, and he is a negociant that started his own winery making rosé from Cabernet Franc. And this is unique because most rosé in Provence is from Cinsault, Grenache, and Syrah. And this is that delicate, pretty style. It's a little bit darker in color than some because of the Cabernet Franc.
Is this one good for a maybe a red wine drinker? Or yes, it's good for all.
Yeah.
I'm still memorizing the best rosé comes from Provence.
Provence,
I'm
yeah.
going to walk up to somebody at a party and say that.
Just say that randomly.
It's nice to have a few wine tips in your pocket.
That is delicious.
I also brought smaller spit buckets because they're just props, because these are wines we don't want to
I wasn't supposed to swallow?
No. Whoa.
Any rules with rosé as far as what to serve it with or what it goes well with? Temperature?
This is, this is so Parisian of us now to sit and drink rosé with charcuterie and cheese. It pairs well with most things, and it drinks well really cold.
Okay.
And what I like about these wines, especially this next one from Minuti, and Minuti is kind of one of the standard bearers of great rosé, and I tasted one of their wines last week, and it was $58 a bottle wholesale. And it's insane that someone would spend that much money for a bottle of...
So we'd have to pour it back in from our spit bucket.
Yes, indeed. This is not that one. This is their entry-level one. But it's difficult to find out what this wouldn't go so well with because they're delicious and they quench the thirst.
The color's a little different, I see, from the first one.
Right.
Yes, it is.
And that is a style of winemaking called saugny, which is to bleed off the free-run juice and throw it into a tank and let it go on its own. Okay. And so the Gaillard probably had a little more time with its skins, hence the color.
Ah.
So.
What do we think?
I like this.
Kathy's happy.
It's hard to not like it.
Oh, yes, I like this. I like this better than the first one, I
Well,
think.
it's a step up.
Oh, of course I like
well,
this
of course.
better.
Linda has very nice taste.
I'm proud of myself.
Sean, explain to me for a second. Are all rosés blush or some blush rosé? How does that work?
So
are they interchangeable?
In the U.S., it was unfortunate that bulk wine, like blush, was typically a sweet version of a pink wine, and it kind of ruined rosé for people wanting to drink rosé, and to a lesser extent, it ruined Chablis, because when you thought of Chablis for the longest time and blush wines, you thought of just kind of plonk, just wines to get your drink on with no discernible fun. And for the longest time, producers like Menuti would even ship the rosé here because they didn't want it compared to these blush, white Zinfandels.
Guilt by association.
I'm so ashamed.
Are you carrying more rosés and blushes at Michael's Wine Cellar?
I have more now. I've devoted an entire rack to it.
I'm not putting it.
Go for it, Linda. It's
Lastly, we have this Bellecour Salmon, and this is really kind of a reference point for rosé champagne, and this retails for about $90 a bottle.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
Hold on, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when people drink it, and I'm one of the first times I had it, and I've been drinking this wine for 20 years. When back in, 25 years ago when I first had it, I thought, oh my gosh, $40, that's crazy talk. And now now $90, and people go, I get it, I get it.
And this is sparkling. How is this as compared to any sort of a Prosecco or champagne?
So this is from Champagne, and the grapes here are 40% Chardonnay, 30% Pinot Noir, and 30% Pinot Meunier.
Oh, that's very bubbly. That's I like.
It's so good.
I love this.
Now you taught us for our champagne tasting that some sparkling and champagne went well with fried chicken, which still amazes me. How does this pair?
I didn't know that.
This I think pairs well with everything, and it sounds like it's hyperbolic, but it's not. I mean, cupcakes. This goes well with dessert.
Well, that's a good thing, in fact, because
Mama,
Linda can't celebrate her birthday without blowing out a candle.
Or make a wish.
There we go, Linda. Make a wish, and I hope it's for another glass of that last one.
Right.
That's delicious. Here we go.
I may have to blow out the lighter.
All right, well, while Linda, all right, we're going to keep working on the candle, but you can keep working on your wine selection. You can find these wines and many others. Go to Michael's Wine Cellar or find them online at michaelswinecellar.com. Thank you, Sean. Always great to have you here, although it's a little funnier to taste wine now that we're in the morning. All right, coming up next, Linda's family completely surprised her this weekend, and we're going to ask her daughter Kathy exactly how she did it. Here you go, Linda.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Ray Collins. Today at noon, Sarasota police investigate a homicide on the North Trail. We'll tell you how and where they found a woman's body. And we'll ride along with police from Evansville as they come to Sarasota to check out the police HOT team, the homeless outreach team. But first, here's a Thursday forecast from John Scalzi.
So we'll watch a big ridge of high pressure located off the Atlantic coast and one located in Gulf waters kind of compete with one another. That means our winds today are going to be light and variable, as neither one of them will win out. So showers and thunderstorms that build in inland areas will have kind of a random motion and a very slow motion at that. Now, over the weekend, I think we'll start to watch a high-pressure ridge out in the Gulf build, and that'll bring us a westerly wind that'll tend to favor most of the shower and thunderstorm activity developing over on the other coast. That's particularly true Sunday.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. And you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast. My mom didn't have life insurance, and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Well, we are celebrating Linda's birthday today here on the show, but her daughter Kathy Carson Freeman had her own celebration planned this past weekend, and Kathy, you got us involved.
I
so
did.
We wanted to fill Linda in on all the things she didn't know about the planning.
Right.
How
Well,
long did you start? When did the planning begin?
I thought of it a year ago on her last birthday because I was like, I didn't love 79. I didn't think we did a good job. I thought she needs something really big. So I started talking to out-of-town people about a year ago, and then I got these invitations planned maybe 6 months ago. I sent them out a couple months ago.
Have you seen these, Linda?
I have not.
Yeah, your journalism career. It's
Oh,
a
that's
newspaper.
in LA. Yes, that's when
Breaking
I was in
news.
Los Angeles.
Yes, and so that was the back of the invitation. So, I mean, I planned it for a while because I knew that we had a lot of out-of-town people. And then in the middle of it, she moved, which completely threw me for a loop because throwing a surprise party is hard enough, and then being your next door neighbor really.
Yes, let's remind people that you were planning this party at your house while now your mom has moved next door on a cul-de-sac. So it isn't even like you can hide the catering van.
It was crazy.
And 80 years of friends and careers and coworkers, and your mom is so adored by so many people. I can only imagine what a large task this was.
It was hard, and it was hard to narrow down how many people because I also don't have a very big house, so it really had to be, it had to be very few people, unfortunately, but it was hard, but it was worth it. It all went off without a hitch.
So you tasked us.
But the whole problem was I knew that I wasn't going to be able to figure out something to do with her. Like, what was I going to get her, because we live next door to each other.
And you had family in town.
Family in town. I mean, so I'm like, what am I going to do? And then I knew. The one thing she would never say no to was work. So I got Joey, I got the whole view involved, and I was like, okay, you guys got to get her out of the house. You got to get her away, and you have to make sure that she looks good, because I don't want her showing up to her party, because then she'd be really mad.
Yes. Because Linda always looks like $1 million. So after talking to Kathy and Stephanie, and we figured out a photo shoot, a video shoot would be the way to get Linda out of the house, and so we staged a video shoot. Our friends at Social Eatery, who were fantastic, took care of us and played along. So we met Linda, who kept asking the whole week forward, what should I wear? What should I wear? Something you would like to be photographed in. Producer Matt is behind the camera. He's also in on this entire thing. So as we are here, what you're looking at happened Saturday night, we're getting texts from Kathy saying, okay, the house is full.
I'm
Everyone's
like, get
here.
her here now.
Because the idea of getting Linda out of the house, committed to something, but then to get Linda to say goodbye to people that have just been nice to her, like the folks at Social.
Oh, I loved Social. They were awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
Linda
like,
can't wait to go
Joey,
back.
you need to be mean. Get her out.
Yeah, so she had made me put on my mean producer hat, and I kept saying to Linda, you got to go. You got to go. I'm sorry, you got to go. I've never felt so rude in my life. I kept living for this moment where I could say, I didn't want you to leave.
Finally, he and Matt got in the car with me, so I was
Yes,
like,
she brought us back to the station, and we followed Linda to the party, but we beat her.
Which
Well, I almost stopped at a 7-Eleven to get more of those ice cream sandwiches for the grandkids.
So the house is packed. Everyone's there. Linda's
She's
home.
still not there, and I'm texting her, and I'm calling her. At one point, I call her, and I'm like, "We're all waiting for you to eat dinner," and she's like, "I don't know why you waited." She hung up on me. I'm like, what is?
I was changing clothes.
Yes.
My next step was to take off all my makeup and go over there. I'm so glad I didn't do that.
Well, Kathy stopped her before she took off the makeup, and luckily, as she was coming in, we have great video from your husband, Jason. We caught Linda completely surprised.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My eyes didn't seem to be registering. I just could not believe that. I'd just seen you guys 5 minutes before, and there you were. And you were standing by my sister who lives in North Georgia and my friends who live in California. And there were people from the station that I'd worked with 20 years ago, just all through the years. And, you know, people don't realize that here at ABC7, we are family. And there were people that I worked with so many years ago here, and they were all there. It was just a beautiful, beautiful night.
Anyone who has ever thrown a surprise party can appreciate the fact that this went off so well is amazing.
Amazing.
Hats off to you, Kathy. It was one of my favorite moments, just being in the room and watching Linda experience all of the people
I just
that were
feel
there.
so guilty. It must be me who's always telling people about their surprise party.
Linda's the one that gives up the surprise. All right, well, we'll be back in just a moment. And when we come back, we want to let you know how you can help Linda celebrate her next birthday.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Well, as we celebrate Linda's birthday today, anyone who knows Linda knows that even though she's had an amazing career, she is still always looking forward. She's always interested in the next story and how can I help the next person and cover the next interview. So, Linda, we would like to ask our viewers their opinion. We've celebrated your bucket list on our show many times. There aren't very many things that we can find that Linda has not done. But now, in your next year, we would like to hear from our viewers. What would you like to see Linda tackle?
Oh, yeah, I don't want to miss anything. That would be disastrous.
As we look forward, you can go to our Facebook page, Suncoast View, find us, write down your suggestion. Linda has been the best sport I think I've ever encountered in my life or career. And Linda, you're open for pretty much anything.
Okay, you know what? One thing I want to do, Barbara Walters really started The View, and she was on it until '84. I want to top her.
Yes. Deal. I think we're all in for that. So there's so much more to do with Linda, more to celebrate the next 80 years. So you're going to help us make that list. Go to Facebook and give us your suggestions. In the meantime, we got to get our energy up. We're going to go into the kitchen with the restaurant from the West End.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie Webb. Coming up today at noon, the latest twist in the Stormy Daniels saga, why she was just arrested in Ohio, and why Ben Carson is here on the Suncoast today. But first, let's check in with First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi for the Thursday forecast.
So if you're going to put your motorboat in the water, we're looking at temperatures that'll generally be conducive to that, with winds that'll be light and variable. We'll see those winds bring you a light chop to smooth conditions on bay and inland waters, 2-foot seas or less. Forecast for today calls for a daytime high coming in around 92 degrees, so it will be hot and steamy out there. As we head into the afternoon, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, again building inland, then having kind of a random slow movement. As we head into the evening, the rain chances are reduced to about 20%, and then overnight, quiet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids. Build great futures.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC 7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community. with ABC7 on Facebook. Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
Coming up Friday morning at 9 on Suncoast View, dressing to beat the heat in the Florida summer can be a challenge. We'll look at Suncoast summer fashion tips to help us stay cool as the temperatures climb. We'll meet the cast of the hilarious new musical from our friends at Freefall Theater. And our home remodeling project continues with new design trends. And Chef Deepa from the Indian Table joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Chef Craig from Evoke at the Westin. What are we making today?
We're going to make blackened grouper with rock shrimp and grits.
Ooh, grits.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm a Georgia girl.
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to start with the grits.
Okay.
And basically the thing to remember about grits is you want 4 parts liquid to 1 part grit because they absorb a lot of the liquid.
Okay.
So what I have here is I have 2 cups of chicken broth and 2 cups of milk.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is take that 1 cup of grits right there.
This is the grits. Okay. Any special kind of grits?
We do use a special kind of...
Oh.
That was a little too aggressive.
Yeah. It was the wine from before.
That was delicious.
A kinder, gentler grit. Yes.
So we do use a special kind of grit. It's called a pencil cob grit, and it's a very thin type of corn that's much sweeter than a traditional ear of corn. So our grits are very sweet. And so what you do is you cook this down, and next is the butter. So you can use those tongs right there, and probably about half of that.
Half of this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't put too much butter in it, but, you know.
I'll be very careful. See?
Yep.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
good.
enough?
Sure. And then we can go with the, we use a shredded white cheddar. So
all of it?
Probably half.
He's a little worried about that. I can tell I'm not going to be getting a job working with you.
Oh, no, you're doing great. Well, you're a natural.
Yeah. He didn't say a natural what?
Not exactly, maybe.
Exactly.
Here, you take over
All
from
right.
me.
So white cheddar is
That's always been my theory.
obviously changing the flavor of the grits. Is it a balance depending on the type of grit and the cheese?
It makes it a little creamier, and it just, you know, it's tradition. You add a little cheese at the end with the grits. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the sauce for the dish, and it's a rock shrimp ragu. And so in the restaurant we make this a la minute, so that means in the moment. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some oil. You got to make sure our pan's nice and hot. And we're going to add those shallots, so just pour the whole thing. Yep, pour it right in there.
No, I'm afraid.
There you go. We're going to sweat those a little bit. Anytime you're sauteing something, make sure the pan is hot and the oil is cold and the food doesn't stick.
And you keep it in motion?
Yep, you want to keep it in motion. That's called saute. Saute means to jump in French.
Okay. I did not know that.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a little bit of a blackening spice. And that's the same spice we're going to use on the fish a little bit later on. And then the next step is I'm going to add the white wine. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to deglaze. And so, sorry, I splashed on you there. Gonna get a little bit of a...
It tasted good.
Everything off the bottom there of the pan, and it's going to kind of emulsify. And then next step...
It's so easy when you do it.
Yeah, right?
The next step is going to be added tomatoes. You can go ahead and add the tomatoes right there. You don't want to add them too early because they're going to cook very fast. Okay. So usually we'll add the white wine, and then immediately after we add the tomatoes. And then we're going to add the butter. You can add some of that butter right there. And
how much?
Just use this tongs right here. Just take a couple chunks.
Butter's a big deal with this, huh?
This dish is pretty rich, but you know, moderation is the key. So
that's true.
Yes, including moderation. Nothing to be afraid of with
butter. And there's
right?
special events. Yes,
it's a birthday.
It's worth it.
Exactly.
I hate to live my life without butter.
So now what we're going to do is we're just going to reduce that on down. And what it's going to do is emulsify and create a nice sauce. And then at the very end, we're just going to finish it with some chives.
All right, Chef, I do want to move you on to the fish, because I know we're a little limited on time with all the birthday festivities.
So
we're blackening the fish here.
Yep, we got our pan smoking hot, so you want to see smoke coming up from the oil. Blackening spice on just one side.
Oh.
Okay.
So I put it in the pan, and I let it sear like that. And there's a lot of techniques for cooking fish, but what I like to do is cook it unilaterally, is what it's called. So what that means is I put it in the pan like this, and then I just put the whole pan directly in the oven right here.
Ah.
Pardon me. And what it's going to do is it's going to actually cook from the bottom up. So you're going to have a beautiful sear on the bottom,
nice.
and then the fish will be moist and tender as it's cooking up.
Well, Chef, that looks fantastic. As you start to plate, we want to remind everybody that Evoke is at the Westin Resort in Sarasota. If you have not been to the Westin, if you've only been to the roof, make sure and stop in at the fabulous restaurant. Great, great menu, and looks like a wonderful dish. Yeah. Perfect for Linda's birthday. Also perfect for Linda's birthday, we want to bring in a special surprise guest, Linda's sister Margaret.
This is my baby sister from Cleveland, Georgia.
All right, we are going to continue Linda's birthday celebration. Hopefully we'll get the candle to go so she can get a birthday wish. We wish that you will enjoy the Suncoast view.